Welcome to Cupid's Logic, where love meets predictive intelligence. We decode attraction, conflict, attachment, and compatibility, so you can know if it will last before you commit.
Sarah noticed her partner double-tapped a flirtatious story late at night, then hid that interaction when she asked. It wasn't a dramatic betrayal, but it became the thing they argued about for months until resentment did the real damage. Welcome to Cupid's Logic. I'm Craig Pruitt, and today we're mapping a 10-minute diagnostic that helps you see those tiny moves before they cost you years.
Let's get serious for a moment. Tiny online habits are rarely dramatic. They're quiet, and that quiet is why they're dangerous. Repeated small choices build a track record long before you notice it.
My goal today is simple. Give you a map, the Digital Habits Atlas, so you can spot the signals that matter. Run a 5-minute check, and try repair moves that actually change behavior. No shaming, just usable clarity.
Let me paint the landscape. Visibility, that's about publicness. Do they tag you in posts that feel respectful, or just for status? Which version do you prefer? Responsiveness, boundary setting, reciprocity, social graph? These are different signals. Which one matters in your relationship? Look, I've seen this ruin otherwise great partnerships when people ignore the pattern.
Start here. Public tagging versus private attention. Same person, different message. One partner posts a loving caption, but the same partner won't answer a midnight message about anxiety. That mismatch tells you something important about repair capacity.
Stories and ephemeral content are next. They're deliberately ambiguous. That ambiguity is useful until someone uses it to avoid accountability. If reactions to stories create unanswered questions, that's boundary avoidance in action. Reaction latency patterns. This one trips people up. It's not one late reply. It's consistent asymmetry. Quick to friends, slow with you when emotions run high. That's a pattern, not an accident. Privacy choices and mutual visibility matter a lot. Secret accounts, hidden threads, unilateral privacy moves, those are decisions about how repair can happen. If someone shields parts of their digital life in ways that prevent conversation, that's a red flag for long-term alignment.
Social graph signals are the breadcrumb trail. Who they message, who they like frequently, who sits in a private loop. Frequent X interaction isn't automatically fatal. Paired with defensiveness, though, it tells a story you should pay attention to.
Okay, quick exercise. Pause your scrolling for a second.
Answer these 5 prompts. Ready? 1. Have you seen repeated mismatches in responsiveness this month? 2. Are there private threads or accounts you didn't know about? 3. Do story reactions keep creating questions you never get answered? 4. Do public posts match private attention, or is there a gap? 5. If you asked about any of the above, would you get a calm, helpful response, or a defensive wall? If you answered yes to 2 or more, that's a yellow flag. Don't panic. This is useful information, not a verdict. Use it to open a conversation, not to close one. Now, practical repair moves. First principle, make asks measurable. Don't say, be more responsive. Say, if one of us sees an emotionally heavy text, can we send a 1-line acknowledgement within 4 hours? Small, testable, measurable. Second, visibility agreements. Try a 30-day experiment where public tagging and private check-ins are aligned. Tag each other only when you're both okay with being visible. Otherwise, send a private note naming the reason. That creates predictable safety. Third, a tiny mutual ritual to rebuild trust. A nightly 2-minute check-in. No therapy, just a factual line. Today I noticed X. I felt Y. I'd like Z tomorrow. Short, predictable, and actionable. I worked with a couple who tried the 4-hour acknowledgement for 2 weeks. On day 4, they dodged a morning blow-up because the partner said, "Got you. I'll read and reply tonight." That tiny rule bought space, and the bigger conversation happened calmly. Small rules can diffuse big fights.
If you need a script to start a conversation, try this. I want to understand something, not accuse you. When I saw X, I felt Y. Can you help me understand what happened? That frames curiosity instead of blame. If you get a defensive wall, note it. That response is diagnostic.
So when do little signals become structural incompatibility? When you see multiple red microsignals across categories, secretive privacy choices, repeated non-repair after clear requests, social graph interactions that ignore your boundaries, that cluster predicts long-term misalignment. At that point, repair requires serious commitment, therapy, accountability, and time.
A couple important calibrations. Don't weaponize this. Cultural and generational differences matter. Use the 5-minute check as a starting point for conversation, not as a final judgment. Always ask, is this pattern fixable with measurable, honest steps? If yes, you have useful work to do. If no, you've gained clarity and saved time.
Are you ready for the truth? Visit cupidslogic.com to download the Digital Habits Atlas, run the 5-minute self-check, and try the 30-day experiment. The workbook includes the scripts we used here and a scoring sheet to help you decide whether to invest or step back. Thanks for listening to Cupid's Logic. Remember, you're not bad at relationships. You've been flying blind. With a little structure, digital honesty, measurable rituals, and a willingness to test change, you can see whether a relationship will grow or quietly drift. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, be honest with yourself and give the small things the attention they deserve.
This has been Cupid's Logic. Stop flying blind in love. Visit cupidslogic.com and let the Prism engine reveal what your relationship data already knows.